Hope you're doing good. Micah back with another video. Back here to finally get into the S Pen case for the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold6. How is the S Pen not available for the cover screen yet? It's got to be available for the cover screen. And so as you see, you have your S Pen or your S command prompt over here. And this is to get involved and get started with the S Pen. And so as you see, you can turn simple sketches into art, and that's what's going to be nice about this is using the S Pen to actually sketch stuff out a lot easier. And I like the fact that it is an option. Sketch to image, smart select, create note, screen write. And then you can also add. So let's go ahead and look at adding. And so you can add more shortcuts like view all notes instead of creating a note. You can do both, which isn't a bad idea. You can add magnify or translate, pin up, right on the calendar, right? And then you can add your apps. And so you have all these apps you can add. I don't think I'm going to add any apps. I think I'm just going to add more of the shortcuts. So I think I'm going to take this shortcut. Oh, okay. You just have to click on it. Okay. And I think what I'm going to do is do that. And then I have screen write. And then I have translate. And then I might do magnify or pin up. Let's do magnify. So if I select magnify, it's now in there. So boom, just like that, I have that in there. I can also search if I wanted to, but I can also just go ahead and swipe from the corner, and now I'm good to go from there. So this is going to be interesting. That's my long laundry list of items. So if I click out of that, there we go. And you notice that the S Pen command is not available on the screen when the S Pen is far away. When the S Pen shows up, it pops up. So if we go into settings, this is where you can adjust and customize your S Pen. We come into settings, and then once settings opens up, scroll down here to advanced features, you have S Pen. And so this is where you can have fun with the S Pen. So upon clicking on S Pen, you have air actions, which I have turned off. I can also turn my air view off if I wanted to, because there is a button. And so for me, I will use my button to bring up my air view. And I'm going to turn off, I think I'm going to do previews only. So now when my S Pen is on the screen, as you guys can see, it no longer has the pointer there. It's just for preview. So if I hover over something, it will give me a preview. Yeah, there we go. And as you see, if I hover, it will show. So maybe if I hover over here, you guys will see how it hovers and it just gives you a preview of what you're looking at. So that's what I left on. I like that. So for me, I'm having a little difficulty operating right now behind the camera, but we shall keep pushing. So if I go ahead and swipe back, I have my air actions turned off. Now my air command, show air command icon, I don't want that. Open air command with the button, as you guys can see right there. So now that's what I have. Now I also can change it to compact. So now when I press the button, now they pop up like that instead of the full screen. I guess you got to be relatively close to it. I'm trying to see if it'll let me do it again. All right, so if I click, there you go. So as you guys can see, if you get close to it, that's how your S Pen button works there. And so that's what I like about the S Pen from that perspective is that it is very, very useful. And the interesting thing is we were all kind of scared as to whether or not this would be a useful pen for a foldable device because of our concerns with the display quality and whether or not it would hinder the display or break the display. And it's good to see that Samsung's intuition or its innovation was able to create such wonderful technology. So now let's back up. Then we got S Pen to text. Yes. If you guys don't know what that is, that's where you can type in search fields or write in search fields. And then if it recognizes your handwriting, as you see displayed there, it will show those words. And of course, it's got to give me the little preview here real quick. And so once it does that, now I can, and then you get the little bar, you get your space, your back button, or the keyboard if you want to use a keyboard instead. And what I can type out is, let's see, okay. I tried to write out display. I thought it would have actually showed it, but it didn't. Okay, so let's try this again. You guys should be able to see it now. Let's see if I can do it without my focus jumping all over the place. So now, as you guys can see, I typed it out, display, and you get writing feedback, meaning it sounds as if you're writing on paper. Not necessarily haptic feedback, but you get audio feedback, which is nice when actually typing with S Pen to text. So I like that feature a lot right there. And so if we swipe back, you have your screen off memos, write notes while the screen is off. Press and hold the S Pen button and double tap the screen with your S Pen to start a note. So if we turn the screen off, I press and hold the S Pen button, right? I double tap the screen. Now, if I wanted to jot something down real quick, like remind me to take the trash out. Now, you can write among the actual hinge, the crease, with no problems, which is also nice. And then what I can also do is come jump up here, hit the erase button, erase that, and that's my note. Remind me to take the trash out. Now, you probably can't read that well. I have doctor's handwriting, but you see that it works. And if I want to keep it, I can hit save up at the top or just swipe back and discard. And then let's go ahead and jump back inside here. And so that is your screen off memos. You have quick notes, press and hold the S Pen button, then tap the screen twice with your S Pen. And with quick notes, you can do this with the screen on. So all you have to do is come in here, press and hold, and double tap, and you'll bring up Samsung Notes to write a quick note that will then be stored within your Samsung Notes. And I wonder, do people sleep on Samsung Notes? Because this is a very, very good app, a very, very useful app that really does rival Apple Notes and Google Keep. And it has so many features in it, especially with the likes of One UI 6.1.1 and really One UI 6 in general. But Samsung Notes is very, very good for the Samsung ecosystem and for note taking. And to see that you can do this with the screen on or off is really, really good. Now, in terms of more S Pen settings, there's really just one. So if you click on it, it's just sound. You can turn that on or off. So if you want sounds on when you're using the S Pen, by all means, leave it on. But if you want it off, then you can also turn it off there as well. And if you want to check for updates, you come in here and you click on each of these different ones. So you got Samsung Capture. And as you see, I'll have to show you guys on the next one. If I click on Air Command, you see it says checking for updates down at the bottom. It's checking to see if any updates have been pushed out to the S Pen and their features to update. So it's good to see that we're able to keep track of those as well with our S Pen. Now, the next thing I actually want to show you guys is if we swipe out and we actually come into, let's see, where is it at? If we jump in here into Good Lock, you're going to notice an app called Pentastic. Pentastic is how you can further customize your experience with the S Pen. So you can change your Air Command window with different options. You can bring the old school carousel back right there, right? You can bring this cool retro look, and all you gotta do is hover over it to get the preview. And so, as I've shown you guys that's what it looks like. If I see here, you get more of like a black and white aesthetic, which looks good. Slightly old school as well. And then, of course, the standard. You can also change your pointer. So default is a little circle, but if you want to, you can change it and make it look basic, like an arrow or a mouse. You can change it to a heart. So you got different looks. You can add your own custom pointer if you wanted to, and you can change your double tap shortcut. So by holding down the S Pen and double tapping the screen, you can change it from the notes. So if I actually clicked on this, I can actually turn this on and change this action. And so if I did turn this on, you see now I have different available apps at my control that I can actually use to actually change my double tap functionality here on the Z Fold 6. And this is all done with Pentastic. For me, I like the notes feature, so I'm gonna leave it be. But this is Pentastic within Good Lock to be able to adjust your S Pen. And this is available with any Galaxy device that has S Pen connectivity or usability. If you can use your S Pen with your phone, just jump into Good Lock. You'll see Pentastic there, and then you'll be able to use that to customize further your S Pen experience.